Hi boys and girls, Mrs. E here. Welcome to a very special mini quiz all about the Easter story. So let's get started. Now, the last week of Jesus' life is known as Holy Week, and there's all the events that happened to Jesus in Holy Week. We learn lots about them in school. Let's see what you can remember. Here's question 1. Which of these events doesn't happen in Holy Week? Is it Jesus entering the city of Jerusalem? Is it Jesus dying on the cross? Is it Jesus feeding the 5,000? Or is it Jesus sharing his Last Supper with his disciples, which doesn't happen in Holy Week? Let's see. Well, he does enter the city of Jerusalem, so it's not that one. And he does die on the cross in Holy Week, so it's not that one. It's not sharing the Last Supper. That's right. Jesus feeds 5,000 people is not in Holy Week. It's one of the miracles before Holy Week. Let's have a question about Palm Sunday. Question 2. How did Jesus arrive in Jerusalem? So on your piece of paper, how did he arrive? Did he arrive by walking? Did he arrive on a donkey? Did he arrive on a camel? Or did he arrive on a horse? Don't forget you can pause the video to give yourself some time to write down your answer. Well, he didn't walk, and he didn't come on a camel, and it wasn't a horse. Well done, boys and girls. He came on a donkey. There he is, to show he was a humble servant king. Great job if you got that right. Here's question 3. What did most people say and do when they saw Jesus? Did they say he was not very special? Did they shout Hosanna and wave palm leaves? Did they put their cloaks on the floor for Jesus to walk on? Or did they go inside and ignore him? Now I'm looking for 2 right answers here, boys and girls. So there's more than one right answer. Can you write them down? It's not that they thought he wasn't special, and they certainly didn't go inside and ignore him. They put their cloaks on the floor for him to walk on. They thought he was so special, and they waved their palm leaves and they shouted Hosanna. Blessed is the King of Israel. Well done. Okay, the next question is all about the Last Supper. Question 4. What did Jesus do for the disciples at the Last Supper? Did he give them a hug? Did he wash their feet? Did he give them clothes? Or give them a gift? Can you remember what he did? It wasn't a hug, or clothes, or a gift. That's right, he washed their feet to show his humility. Well done. Question 5. This is also about the Last Supper. What was used in the Last Supper to symbolise Jesus' body and blood? So what did they use? They didn't actually use his body and blood. What did they use? Was it bread and water? Was it bread and wine? Was it pie and water? Or soup and juice? Which one was at the Last Supper? It wasn't bread and water, or pie and water, or soup and juice. Great job if you said bread and wine. Now, question 6 is all about the Garden of Gethsemane, getting towards the rest of Holy Week. How did Judas identify Jesus to the soldiers? Did he point at Jesus? Did he kiss Jesus? Did he wave at him? Or did he shout him? Don't forget you can pause the video to have a think. He didn't point at him, and he didn't wave at him, and he didn't shout him. He identified him by kissing his cheek, and then the soldiers knew who to arrest. He betrayed Jesus. Also in the Garden of Gethsemane, for question 7, why didn't the disciples warn Jesus that the soldiers were coming? Was it because they didn't see them? Was it because they were praying? Or was it because they weren't there? Or had they fallen asleep? Well, they didn't see them, and they weren't praying. They were still there. Unfortunately, the disciples fell asleep when Jesus had asked them to keep watch. Now comes the saddest part of the story, the crucifixion. Question 8. The place Jesus was put to death was called Golgotha. But what does Golgotha mean? Is it the place of death? The place of the skull? The place of blood? Or the place of evil? Can you remember? It's not the place of death, or the place of blood, or the place of evil. Well done. It's the place of the skull. That's the name of the site. Another question about the crucifixion for question 9. What was Jesus offered to drink by the soldiers when he was dying on the cross? Was it water, wine, milk, or vinegar? Don't forget to pause the video. It wasn't water, but I bet he desperately wanted some. And it wasn't wine or milk. That's right, it was vinegar. That must have tasted awful to drink, mustn't it? Poor Jesus. Thank goodness for our happy ending when Jesus rose from the dead 3 days later, the resurrection. How long after his death did Jesus rise from the dead? Was it the very next day, on the second day, or on the third day? I might have given you a bit of a clue already. Which one is the correct one? It's not the next day, or the second day, or the fourth day. He rose on the third day. Great job if you got that right. I am really, really impressed. On the third day, he rose again. Fantastic job. For question 11, what had happened to Jesus' tomb when Mary visited? Had the stone been rolled away and the tomb was empty? Did the soldiers stop them? Or did they get lost? Well, hopefully you know that the stone was rolled away and the tomb was empty. Great job. I hope you enjoyed this little RE quiz and you'll join me again soon for another video. Happy Easter. God bless.